A very quick introduction to our company. We've been around for 15 years. We do specialist research and consulting. We do seminars and workshops. We actually did a workshop here in Cosmetics Asia yesterday on the formulation issues of natural organic cosmetics. Okay, so what I'm going to do this morning, I'm going to give you some of the key findings from some of the research that we've done. So we've done studies here on various markets for natural organic cosmetics. We've done technical research, consumer insights, but I'm going to give you some of the key highlights from this one here, Asian market for natural organic cosmetics and the global market. We've also done technical research studies and we've done consumer research as well. Let me start by defining these products. And this is probably one of the most important slides in my seminar. What do we mean by natural? What do we mean by organic? Because everything I'm going to present after this is going to be related to this definition. Let's talk about organic cosmetics. We say these cosmetics contain certified organic ingredients and or meet private standards like EcoCert, Soil Association, Cosmobio, etc. But they also meet the definition of natural cosmetics. Natural cosmetics is a little bit more general or more vague, because how do you define natural? Technically speaking, every ingredient, including a petrochemical derived ingredient, is natural. What we say for natural cosmetics are these products are made from plant extracts, they contain the natural ingredients, they contain the so-called good stuff, but they avoid the so-called bad stuff. And here we're talking about contentious synthetic ingredients. And this is where it gets a little bit, I would say, controversial. What do we mean by a contentious synthetic ingredient? Here's a list of synthetic ingredients which are typically not found in natural cosmetics. So we've got a list of ingredients here: parabens, family of preservatives, we've got petrochemicals, formaldehydes, SLS, SLES, the surfactants, mineral oils, aluminium salts and deodorants, phthalates, etc. Now, I say it's slightly controversial because, according to that definition, we don't include the Body Shop, we don't include L'Occitane, we don't include Lush, we don't include Palmolive Naturals, and we don't include a lot of the Asian brands which are making natural claims here in Asia. And we call them pseudo-natural or natural-based cosmetics because they contain the so-called good ingredients, but they also contain all the synthetics over here. So that's the first thing, the definition. What do we mean by natural and what do we mean by organic? What we like to say is we call them pure natural cosmetics. They contain the natural ingredients, but they don't contain the contentious synthetic ingredients which are listed here. Now, according to that definition, the global market is worth 11.7 billion US dollars. The market's growing by 7 to 8% per year, which is about a $1 billion per year. The biggest markets are in North America, Europe, and in terms of countries, it's USA, Germany, France, Italy, and UK. Again, a notable absence of Asia. I'm not going to give you data for Europe and North America this morning. That's something I'm going to be giving tomorrow afternoon. But let's look at specifically the Asia Pacific. And what we're doing here is we're clubbing Asia with Australasia here. Combined, the market size is only about 540 million US dollars. And again, it's about that definition. We don't include most of the brands which are making natural claims because they contain a lot of synthetics in their formulations. In every country in Asia, the market share is less than 1%. And you can compare that to countries like USA, Germany, Austria, Switzerland, where it's above 5%. The biggest market in this whole region, Asia Pacific, is Australia, and then it's China, Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, etc. What's interesting is most sales are not from the organic food shops and health food shops as they are in Europe and North America. Here, most sales of these products are from department stores and beauty retailers. So there's a big difference in terms of distribution. However, what we see is Western brands dominate. It's the Western brands which have biggest market share in Asia. Asian brands are emerging, but their market share is still fairly low. Okay, so the good news is the market size is growing at double-digit rates in most countries. And the reasons why it's growing is because of these drivers over here. We've got increasing distribution. Distribution is increasing. It's increasing in department stores, beauty retailers, pharmacies, spas, hair salons. Consumers are becoming more aware of synthetic ingredients in cosmetics, and that's really a big driver of demand. Consumers are becoming more aware of cosmetic formulations, potential harmful ingredients, and they want to buy natural organic products. We're also seeing more and more concept stores being opened here in Asia. I'm going to talk about that a bit later. And also new product launches. Western brands as well as Asian brands are coming into the market and they're launching new products. If we look at distribution, these are the big trends that are happening in Asia. The first thing is supermarkets, hypermarkets are not really interested. It's similar in Europe and North America, but over there has been some interest, there has been some private label launches, products being launched in those outlets, but not here. What we're seeing is the number of organic food shops is mushrooming. In almost every country, we're seeing more and more organic food shops being opened, and they are giving shelf space to these products. Most interest, however, is from department stores and beauty retailers. Look at it this way. Natural organic is considered premium in Asia. And when you look at premium cosmetics, it's the department stores, beauty retailers, duty-free retailers, which are most interested in premium cosmetics. And that's why they're the most keen on these products. We're also seeing more and more concept stores being opened across Asia. I'm going to cover that a bit later. However, the net result is distribution is slowly expanding. Just to highlight the trend of concept stores, we're seeing international brands like Jalique from Australia, Neal's Yard Remedies from UK, they're opening concept stores. Neal's Yard Remedies actually got about 30 concept stores in Japan. Jalique is opening concept stores across Asia, and now you've got Asian brands like Forest Essentials, which are opening concept stores as well. However, a big development here is we're no longer seeing just the single brand concept stores, but we're seeing new types of retailers open which specialize in natural organic cosmetics, and they sell a range of brands. We're seeing this across Asia, and I've got two examples here. Organic Plus in Shanghai, they've got 2 stores. They specialize in Western brands, mainly from France. We've got Beyond Organic, they've got 6 stores in Hong Kong, and these stores only specialize in natural and organic cosmetics. In terms of products, skincare is a leading category. If you look at natural organic cosmetics representing skincare, hair care, color cosmetics, deodorants, etc., skincare is the biggest product segment or category, comprising more than 60% of sales in Asia. Once again, Western brands are most popular. What we're seeing is more and more products are marketed on organic ingredients. It's not so easy for Asian brands to get certification, to get a fully certified product, and I'm going to cover the reasons why later. So what we're seeing is marketing claims based on ingredients. However, standards are becoming popular, although from a very small base. Just to highlight some of the new product launches, we've got Western brands like Bulldog, a leading range of natural male grooming products from UK. They've been launched here in Thailand in Boots Chemists. They've gone to Korea. We're seeing Eco Beauty from Oriflame. They've launched a certified range of natural cosmetics in various Asian countries. And then you've got Asian brands like Organic Harvest in India, which is being sold across the country. Then the Taiwanese brand Oright, which is a brand of natural hair care products made from coffee grounds. Right, the next part are the challenges. I'm going to open with a question. Why is the market so small? Once again, the global market, 11.7 billion US dollars. Only 540 million sales are from the Asia Pacific. So today, Asia has 60% of the global population. It's got a huge consumer market. 22% of global cosmetic sales are from this region. However, natural and organic cosmetic sales are just 3%. Anyone want to volunteer reasons why?
What I observe, no, when as you said, the distribution in Asia are the department stores. And when you go to a typical Asian department store, for example, in Hong Kong or Thailand, or I am from the Philippines, and when you go inside, and what do you see inside? You will see Olay, you will see European brands, American brands, and this is what we buy because we feel that this is the one that has the better, or the the product that really works. So that's why it's only maybe now, actually in the Philippines, there's really not so much yet going on in development for yeah.
Okay. Okay, so a good point there about department stores selling the conventional brands. I give a lot of seminars in Asia, and the common thing, whenever I give a seminar about natural organic products, people say, Asia, we don't have the spending power. We don't have as much money as the Europeans, but it's not true. 4 of the 10 richest countries of the world are now in Asia. Last week I was in Singapore. Disposable incomes in Singapore are higher than almost all countries in Europe, I think apart from Switzerland, or even, I think it's even exceeded Switzerland now. And these countries are only expected to get richer. Now, I get it. Thailand, Philippines, China, you don't have the average spending power or purchasing power parity as, say, Europe. But when you look at countries like Japan, South Korea, Taiwan, and the smaller countries like Singapore, Hong Kong, etc., they are far higher. So it's not really spending power. And look at it differently. The lady here talked about department stores. Olay, you've got Estee Lauder, all these premium brands. If they are successful in Asia and they are very expensive products, then why are natural organic products not so popular? So purchasing power, I agree, much of Asia does have low spending power, but again, you've got very rich countries here. One of the major reasons we see is consumer education or consumer behavior. We don't have that same level of awareness of natural and organic products. Again, coming back to the definition, if I went around this room and I asked each of you, what does natural mean to you? Each and every one of you will give a different interpretation. And if you talk about organic farming or organic production methods, people generally don't understand what organic farming is. They'll say no pesticide, but it's actually no synthetic pesticides. It's a sustainable form of farming. So there's a lot of confusion. What is natural? What is organic? What's the difference between a natural cosmetic, organic cosmetic, and a conventional product? The challenge there is, how do we educate consumers and how can we strengthen demand? Because until you get the education, until consumers are aware of these products, demand is not going to rise. Distribution is another big barrier. You don't have the organic food channel as you do in Europe and North America. You don't have the Whole Foods markets. You don't have the basic or the Biocop stores that you have in Europe. So this sector is very disorganized. Most of these stores here are mom and pop shop outfits, independent, not part of chains. To get into them, it's easy, but you'll have to get into 40, 50 of them individually in order to build up some sales. Once again, the supermarkets, hypermarkets, they're not in this market, they're not really interested. But more importantly, there's a lot of competition from the pseudo-natural brands, the brands which are making the natural claims. And the challenge there is, how do you expand distribution? And this is a common challenge which Western brands face. Western brands, they're very successful in health food shops in Europe, and then they look for health food shops over here, and it doesn't work. Some of them are very successful in pharmacies, and then they come here, pharmacies are not interested. So the challenge is, how do we expand distribution? And just to illustrate that point, organic food shops, they are giving more and more shelf space to these products, but look at the merchandising. This is how they're marketing these premium beauty products. They're just putting them on the shelves and that's it. Now, are you going to pay 20, 30% more for beauty products like that? That's a big challenge. And a bigger challenge is the mislabeling. I talked about the natural organic claims. I've got two examples from Korea here. Organa Natura cleansing foam. I'm not picking on brands here, but what's organic about it? Apart from the name, there's no organic ingredients. This brand over here, they've got one ingredient which is organic, and that's aloe vera, certified organic aloe vera. And they've put the logo of the certification agency which certified the aloe vera on the product pack. That's misleading consumers. That's telling consumers our product is organic. The product is conventional. The whole formulation is conventional, but just one organic ingredient. Now, if you're a natural organic brand, how do you compete with that? How do you compete with these big brands launching a product with an organic logo on there? That's a very big challenge here in Asia. Now, most of you would say, fine, they make all those claims. We're going to get our product certified. We're going to go for EcoCert. We're going to go for Natru. But the problem is, here you've got no national standards in Asia. You've got national standards for organic foods. China, Thailand, India, Hong Kong, Philippines, etc., have all got regulations for organic agriculture and organic foods, but there's nothing for natural and organic cosmetics. Korea is actually developing a standard for organic cosmetics, but it hasn't been launched. And then you've got no private standards. So if you want to take the certification route, you've got to look at Europe, North America, or Australia. You've got to adopt one of their standards. So that means you've got to pay for these inspectors to come over from France or from UK, inspect your facilities, make sure everything's meeting the standards, and then you've got to pay for them to go back. Very high costs. So what options do you have? And even then, you've got over 30 standards now globally for natural organic cosmetics. And that's leading to label proliferation. We're seeing more and more products which are having multiple logos on their products. Example of Eco Beauty, which I talked about before. Their products are certified by EcoCert, ingredients certified by Fair Trade, Vegan Society, and their packaging certified by FSC. How many logos do you really want to put on your product? And especially if you want to sell across Asia to Europe, do you want to put 3, 4 logos on? Last week I was at a seminar by my friend here, Alan, about the ISO standard. Now the ISO standard is scheduled to be launched next year. And the whole idea is this is supposed to give a framework for a baseline for natural organic cosmetics. The issue there is, will the industry accept it? And the second thing is, will it just add to this logo proliferation? Because it's not going to replace EcoCert, Natru, or anything else. It's just going to provide a framework for, say, possibly national regulations. So ISO may not be the solution to this. And the last point there is, will Asian consumers actually respond to these standards? So even if you do all the right stuff, you get your product certified, you put your EcoCert logo on, how are you going to really compete with this when you've got products which are putting their own logos on? Again, I don't want to pick on companies or brands here, but this is the biggest pharmacy chain in Asia, and they've got a naturals range. They've got one organic, certified organic ingredient, and they've put their own logo on based on that. So even if you do all the great stuff and go for one of those logos, you're going to compete with self-designated logos. So that may not work. And it's not just natural organic cosmetics which is facing this issue. Organic foods is regulated in most of Asia. However, sorry, I hate to say it, but in Asia, you guys don't play by the rules. It's very common to abuse the law and, come up with fake products. And this is an example in China. China's got very strict regulations for organic regulations, but these products are falsely labeled as organic. So this is a very big problem in Asia, mislabeling, fraud, fake products, making these claims. And actually, we're going to cover a lot of these points tomorrow at 12 o'clock. We're going to have a roundtable on these industry challenges. Me and other people from the industry are going to talk about how we can overcome the challenges. So, lastly, I've highlighted the challenges, and a lot of you are thinking, it's so bleak, it's not worth it, I don't want to go into natural organic, there is no hope. No, there is hope. There is hope at the end of the tunnel. I do want to put a positive part to it as well. So the only problem here is you've got more challenges than what we face in Europe and North America, but we like to be positive. We like to think there is a way to overcome them, and there is opportunities there for you as well, but you need to overcome those challenges. So looking at the global picture. In Europe, we're seeing mixed growth rates. Northern Europe, Scandinavia, Germany, France, they are showing quite high growth rates. Southern Europe, Italy, Spain, Portugal are showing much lower growth rates. North America, healthy growth has been continuing over the last 4 or 5 years. In Asia, it's a small market, but the growth rates are about 15 to 20% in most countries. So it's from a small base, but we're saying higher percentage growth. However, the questions to you are, how do we overcome the barriers to growth? How can we make this market worth $1 billion, $3 billion, or $5 billion? And when will Asia realize its natural potential? So, I want to give you some pointers now. We did a study in the UK last year where we interviewed 100 consumers, face-to-face interviews, and these were buyers of natural organic cosmetics. And we wanted to understand their motives for buying these products. So we asked them, how important is it for you to avoid synthetic chemicals when buying natural and organic cosmetics? And these are the responses we got. Out of the 100 consumers, 53%, more than half, stated it was very important. 37% said it was important. 9% were indifferent, and 1% not important. This question shows you the biggest driver for purchases is not environmental reasons, it's not ethical reasons, it's avoiding synthetic chemicals. That's really the big driver why consumers are buying these products. And that was confirmed later on in the survey. This survey, we actually asked about 30 questions, but I'm just giving 2 of the key findings here. We actually asked them, which synthetic chemicals do you look to avoid when you buy these products? And we did not prompt any chemical names. The highest one, 63%, and there's the same survey that we did in 2007, and that's a comparison. That's a big jump from 34% to 63%. SLS, SLES, number 2. Then you've got petrochemicals, aluminium salts. Almost every single class of ingredients has risen, awareness has risen over the 7-year period. So this tells you, 1, consumers are buying these products because they want to avoid synthetics, but the second thing is consumers are becoming more informed, more aware of synthetic chemicals. They can actually name the ingredients, and the awareness has actually gone up. Now, directly as a result of that, brands are making these free from claims. Brands understanding why consumers are buying their products. And what we're seeing is more and more brands making claims, paraben-free, free from sulfates, free from synthetic fragrances, free from PEG, propylene glycol, mineral oils, etc. Now, this trend has actually crossed over from the food industry, where consumers suffer from allergies to gluten, from milk, lactose, etc. However, when you talk about beauty products, it's about feeling good. And like my friend Alan said, it's like you're selling a dream. You know, women buy a product, a perfume or a beauty product because they want to look beautiful. It should not be about fear. The question is this the way forward for this industry? Are we going to go forward with all these claims that we don't claim this, we don't have this synthetic ingredient, we don't have that? I personally think it's a dangerous road to go on. However, what we've seen is sometimes it works. And I want to draw an example to China. Across Asia, we've had a number of food scandals. China's probably had the largest number. We've had the melamine scandal about four years ago, where there was industrial chemical in infant formula, in baby milk. We've had the vegetable oil scandal, where people, or some unscrupulous business people, were taking vegetable oil out of the sewers, out of the drain, and then packaging it and selling it. That was a huge scandal. And last year, McDonald's and other big chains were selling rotten meat. Now, all of those scandals were very bad for the Chinese consumers, for the Chinese economy. However, they raised awareness of food issues, of food safety. As a result, China now has the third largest market for organic foods in the world, and the largest market for organic infant formula. The question is, do we need scandals like this to really kickstart the market in Asia? I hope not. I hope there's a better way to do it. The way I think the way forward is, the way our company thinks the way forward is, make a positive play. Talk about the good stuff that your company is doing. It's not just about making the claims about natural and organic, about the formulations, but have a green ethos, have a pure green business. And some of the leading brands are already doing this. So some of the leading brands like Neal's Yard Remedies, Pangea Organic, Dr. Bronner's, they're already doing that. They realize that you can only go so far by making a natural organic claim, that we need to actually be true to our principles. So companies like Aveda, which is not shown there, which should be over here, they're actually one of the most sustainable businesses in the beauty industry. They power their head office by renewable energy. They're the largest user of recycled plastics in the beauty industry. Neal's Yard Remedies, the leading UK brand, UK organic brand, they're carbon neutral. They've undertaken a number of ethical sourcing projects in Palestine, Sri Lanka, and they've got sustainable packaging which you can actually plant. And this is really the way forward. It's not about making the marketing claims that we're natural, we're greener than you. It's to have a greener business. And that's probably the best way to educate consumers and to go through all of that greenwashing, to cut through it all. And the final point, if you want to learn more about this, we've actually done a book about sustainability in the beauty industry. Some of the brands which I just highlighted, like Aveda, Dr. Bronner's, etc., they've contributed to this book. It's the first ever book which is produced on sustainability in the beauty industry. And it was launched last year. It's available from our stand. It's also available on the internet. And with that, I want to finish.